ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलां श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च शरीरूपं सागरजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललित श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, so let me see who can read. Maybe we give chance to Gaurav Prabhu if he can. Verse 27 to 30 or even to 43.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I'm audible?
If we can hear you from verse 26 to 43 or 42.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Therefore, O great
Before-
sage, please
And
say,
Gaurav Prabhu, before starting, na, three times we say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
okay.
You may want to.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. Text 26 translation. Therefore, O great sage, please save me and my forefathers who are descending to the darkness of hell because I have no progeny. Kindly do something so that I may have a son to deliver us from hellish conditions. Text 27 translation. In response to the request of Maharaja Chitraketu, Angiri Rishi, who was born of Lord Brahma's mind, was very merciful towards him. Because the sage was a greatly powerful personality, he performed the sacrifice by offering oblations of sweet rice to Twasta. Text 28 translation. O Parikshit Maharaj, O Parikshit Maharaj, best of the Bharatas, the remnants of the food offered in the yagya were given by the great sage Angira to the first and most perfect Chitraketu's millions of queens, whose name was Kritadyuti. 29 translation. Therefore, the great sage told the king, O great king, now you will have a son who will be the cause of the both jubilation and lamentation. The sage then left without waiting for Chitraketu's response. Text 30. As Kritika Devi, after receiving the semen of Lord Shiva from Agni, conceived a child named Skanda Kartikeya. Krita Devi, having received semen from Chitraketu, became pregnant after eating remnants of food from the yagya performed by Angira. After receiving semen from Maharaja Chitraketu, the king of Surasena, Queen Krityadyuti gradually developed in her pregnancy. O King Parikshit, just as the moon develops during the bright fortnight. Therefore, in due course of time, a son was born to the king. Hearing news of this, all the.
Thereafter. Hmm?
Should I continue?
Thereafter.
Sorry. Thereafter, in due course of time, a son was born to the king. Hearing news of this, all the inhabitants of the state of Surasena were extremely pleased. Text 33. King Chitraketu was especially pleased. After purifying himself by bathing and by decorating himself with ornaments, he engaged learned brahmanas in offering benedictions to the child and performing the birth ceremony. Text 34. Upon unto the Brahmanas who took part in the ritualistic ceremony to the king, gave charity of gold, silver, garments, ornaments, villages, horses, and elephants, as well as 60 crores of cows, 600 million cows. Text 35. As a cloud indiscriminately pours water on the earth, the beneficent King Chitraketu, to increase the reputation, opulence, and longevity of his son, distributed like rainfall all desirable things to everyone. Text 36. When a poor man gets some money, after great difficulty, his affection for the money increases daily. Similarly, when King Chitraketu, after great difficulty, received a son, His affection for the son increased day after day. Text 37. The mother's attraction and attention to the son, like that of the child's father, excessively increased. The other wives, seeing Krita Deoti's son, were very much agitated, as if by high fevers with a desire to have sons. Text 38. As King Chetraketu fostered his son very carefully, his affection for Queen Krita Deoti increased, but gradually he lost affection for the other wives who had no sons. Text 39. The other queens were extremely unhappy due to their being sonless. Because of the king's negligence towards them, they condemned themselves in envy and lamented. Text 40. A wife who has no sons is neglected at home by her husband and dishonored by her co-wives exactly like a maidservant. Certainly such a woman is condemned in every respect because of her sinful life. 41. Even maidservants who are constantly engaged in rendering service to the husband are honored by the husband, and thus they have nothing for which to lament. Our position is, however, that we are maidservants of the maidservant. Therefore, we are most unfortunate. Text 42. Sri Shukadev Goswami continued, by being neglected by their husband and seeing Krita Deoti's opulence in possessing a son, Krita Deoti's co-wives always burned in envy, which became extremely strong. Yeah, text 43. As their envy increased, they lost their intelligence. By being extremely hard-hearted and unable to tolerate the king's neglect, they finally administered poison to the son.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Nice, Gaurav Prabhu. Thanks for joining and reading. Hope you are eager to know what happened afterwards. But let's try to understand what happened
Yes.
in this part. How is it while you're reading? Do you enjoy?
Yeah, it's there was the Sanskrit verse was not there, so it felt very a little bit dry. There is well like a line, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll cover that. But yeah, in terms of what we are reading is we know Vritrasura. Yeah, Vritrasura, after Indra has killed him, he attained the supreme abode, the Lord. Yeah. So that's why there was this question. In fact, who is this Vritrasura? How did that he get such a great destination or reaching home back to Godhead? Huh? That was the question. And in that connection, Shukadev Goswami is explaining Parikshit Maharaj. Why? Because Parikshit Maharaj, I think the last week were very important questions, right? How come, yeah, I mean, I just kept it very, very briefly, that out of unlimited living entities, how come that few humans are interested in following dharma, artha, kama, yeah? Who are in the sorry, karmis. Yeah. First of all, there are so many people who are uncivilized, and there are few who are civilized, who are dharmic. And not only that, among them, there are very, very few desiring liberation from the material world, mumukshavaha, which is because of jnana, they understand that this Maya or this material world is full of suffering, and the more we entangle ourselves, the more we are interested, we entangle ourselves more. Then, among those people who really aspire for moksha, liberated persons who, with no material attachment, uh, are really no material attachment are these vanaprasthas. So, one who do not, yeah, as soon as when things are that, yo, once upon a time when I had this situation, I dealt it like this. No, Vanaprastha is not interested to go back to his. It's like, okay, should I again go back to work and make some money? No, Vanapa completely detached. Among them, those who understand the true meaning of liberation, uh, uh, which means who are interested in Sayujya Mukti, hmm, are sannyasis. Among them, there are very, very, very few who are really understand what is that, and one who really can follow it is even more rare. And the final one is the devotees of Narayan or Krishna in various relationships with the Lord is the topmost. But what is this? This Vritrasura, how could he uh, become such a rare of the rare among all the humans, means to become a devotee? So we should always not forget, and we should always appreciate this situation, that if we are humans, is already great. But yeah, in our preaching also we should remember this fact. Yeah, if someone is eager to preach to others, if someone really, we should know what is the rarity of a devotee's life. To become a devotee is not ordinary. And at the same time, if someone has become a devotee, he should also know that it's so rare that to be a devotee, to become a devotee, to be a devotee is even rare. What does that mean? Just becoming a devotee, we are just entering into the world of ourselves, in the feeling the grace of the Lord. But we are not in the center. We are not attained that stage where Krishna is in the center and we are there directly serving, which means we are not in the pure devotional service that we are rendering. So we are becoming every day a devotee, better devotee. And if we are not careful, this betterment is gone. And this is next level. Yeah, so which means preaching is the essence, preaching is the power. And how we preach to people who are yet to come to Krishna consciousness is the value of becoming a devotee. And for a devotee, how do we inspire is, becoming a devotee is one thing, and to be a devotee lifelong is another thing. We should also and then worst thing a devotee can do, which is called a spiritual suicide, is give up devotional service. So okay, I remember His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj telling 15 no 20 years back, in Mumbai, in a lecture. What about those people who leave? Yeah, such a rare opportunity, Yeah, if devotees are around, they can inspire them to come back, because they are very, very rare. Maharaj gives an example of Jamba pilot, Jamba, Jum, Jamba pilot, a pilot who is perfectly trained in the war, how he can escape. But if somehow he is caught up, then one should try to bring him back, because he is very, very valuable and very powerful. So similarly, if someone is a devotee, yeah, if someone is distracting himself from the path of devotion, we should really try our best. Yeah, but again, Maharaj also says, yeah, there is only to certain extent one can uh, help out. If the person doesn't really care, doesn't value, yeah, yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. That's what Maharaj says. And here we can see this is the situation. And Chitraketu, so Narad Muni is telling to um, yeah, so when Parikshit Maharaj asked this question, Shukadev Goswami is telling a story about Narad Muni. Once upon a time, where there is this Chitraketu king of Shurasena, ruled the entire earth during the reign, and then he had no children, and then all these things. And at the same time, there was this great sage Angira Rishi. Angira Rishi, he has come, and then Angira Rishi could see the mind. Mm, Through the face, he could see this king is not happy, and then he, of course, can see what is the cause and what will happen when he has a child. But so after this, Chitraketu is explaining that his anxiety is mainly because of not having a child. And I think we are reading from verse 23. Am I right? From where did you read? 23, right?
27.
Oh, I'm sorry, 27. So, and the cause of this anxiety is, I am not able to beget a child in spite of having so many wives, and that is the cause of my lamentation. Uh, because in when I in my absence, yeah, when I am gone, who is going to take care of doing pindadan to the forefathers? Yeah, so that is a very important thing to free the suffering of our ancestors, or ancestors in the sense not anyone but our own lineage forefathers from suffering. So in 21st century, I think we were discussing, yeah, last week that marriages, people think why to marry, huh? What is the need of marriage? All these things. But here in this 26th verse, it is said, Pahi Mahabhaga, Tatah Pahi Mahabhaga, Purvai Saha Gatam Tamaha Yatha Tarema Dushparam Prajaya Tad Videhi Naha. So, he's saying Dushpar, very difficult to cross over this ocean. Why? Because my fathers, please save me and my fathers who are descending to the darkness of hell because I have no progeny. See, so important it is. And yeah, people say, hey, Putra, why so great about Putra and why not so great about Putri, Putrika? In fact, yeah, of course, yeah, just like our eyes have its own importance, and our ears have its own importance, our hands have its own importance. Similarly, Putra and Putrika both have a role to play. But when we are talking about the uh, uh, the significance of having a son is mentioned here, which means that through the son, this Pindadan, everything is performed. In the purport, Prabhupada mentions he was concerned with how to get Pinda, oblations in the next life, not only for himself but also for his forefathers. Therefore, he requested Angira Rishi to favor him by doing something that could help him get a son. And then Shukadeva Goswami Shishuka Uvacha Ityartita Artita means request it Atita Sha Bhagavan Kripalu Brahmana Sutaha Shrapayitva Charum Twastram Twastaram Ayajah Ayajat Vibhu. So now, because of this, Angir Rishi was born of Lord Brahma's mind, was very merciful towards him. Because the sage was greatly powerful personality, he performed a sacrifice by offering oblations of sweet rice to Twashta. So this is what they had these powers. Yeah, I think today we are going to discuss about the power of prayers in the Saturday session. Where is that in noise program? It is said, Jeshta Shrestha Chaya Ragno Mahishi Namna Bharata Namna Kritadvyutis Tasyai Yagnochistam Adad Dvijaha. This Yagna Uchishta is very important. Uchishta means remnants of food. Sometimes people, when we are giving the remnants of great personalities or from the Lord, okay, yeah, but from some sadhus or some saintly people, we think, hey, oh, no, 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 what will happen? Maybe this is not right. We may become his servant or we may become his disciple. No, we don't want to. No, our good fortune arises when we are touched by this uchishta. Uchishta means the remnant food that is left by the sadhus, saintly people, swamis, maharajas, great devotees. Yeah. Why? Because we can see in the case of Narada Muni when the Bhakti Vedantas they were at his ashrama when his mother was a maid servant attending to cleaning and arranging food for them. At that time, whatever the remnants were there left by the this brahmanas, bhakti vedantists who are expert, they used to talk during these 4 months. And when the leaves were taken off, when Narad Muni partook this uchishta, that was the reason why he became in the next life. Where we can see son of Brahma, and then he's always engaged and he got the spiritual body. He's called Devarshi. Uh, all these things. So great. Uh, so here it is said the best of the Bharatas, remnants of the food offered in the yajna were being given by the great sage to the first and foremost perfect among Chitraketu's wives. Her name is Krita Dhyuti. We can understand what is the meaning of Krita Dhyuti later. Uh, but she is the most suitable for performing this Krita. Krita means activity. Athata Nripatim Rajan Bhavitaikas Tavatmajaha Harsha Shoka Pradastubhyam Iti Brahma Suto Yayo. So now, because Angira Rishi knew what can happen when King Chitraketu is beget a child, what is happening? He's saying, "Oh dear king, now you will have a son who will be the cause of Harsha Shoka." Harsha means jubilation and Shoka means lamentation. The sage then left without waiting for Chitraketu's response. That is interesting to observe. It's not like, okay, no, no formalities, now what he may ask, what should I do? No, because the purpose of him was to deliver Chitraketu this important thing. He has come and he heard, of course, he knew everything, and then he gave and sent. He said, let there be a son, it doesn't matter. Um, um, the Harsha means jubilation, Shoka means lamentation. The king was overwhelmed with joy. He was so happy because for that moment he only wanted a son. Because he thought because of son he and his forefathers will be delivered, and he was sure that then there is a king, because as a Kshatriya there should be a ruler for the entire world, and he's going to happen. And but what happened here is that king, he was satisfied thinking, let there be a son. It doesn't matter if he is very obedient or not, because shoka is something, okay, um, that's something, yeah, it's very perspective. Maybe I will not be having that shoka. In Prabhupada writes in the purport 29, in Bengal there is a proverb that instead of having no material uncle, it is better to have an material uncle who is blind. I don't know. The king accepted this philosophy, thinking that disobedient son would be better than no son at all. Whereas Chanakya Pandit says, Ko artha putrena jatena yo na vidwan na dharmikaha kanena chakshusha kimva chakshu pidaiva kevalam. Chakshu means eyes will be experiencing great pain. When what is the use of a son who is neither a learned nor a devotee? Such a son is like a blind, diseased eye which always cause suffer. Uh, Sometimes when some dust particle falls into our eyes, yeah, we can't see. Forget about seeing. The pain that we experience through this from the eye is immense. So, what is the? It's not that, oh, it's better to have some rather having no vision. No, it causes more pain. So, polluted, it is said. Nevertheless, the material world is so polluted that one wants to have a son even though is useless. This is the current trend. This attitude was represented in the history of Chitraketu. And then in the due course of time, Sapitat Prashanad Eva Chitraketur Adharayat Garbham Kritadhyutir Devi Kritikagner Ivatmajam. So here finally Kritadhyuti became pregnant, and she and the comparison given, or the example give reference given here is like Kritika Devi. Kritika Devi, after receiving Lord Shiva's mercy, there is a whole story from Agni Dev. It comes because the semen that came from the Mohini Murti, when sorry, that came when Lord Shiva was mesmerized by seeing um, Mohini Devi, Mohini Murti. Uh, Lord Vishnu, when he was this will we will come anyway in the eighth canto, when he was very eager to see, oh Lord Vishnu, your appearance should be definitely something mesmerizing. I would like to have the darshan. Lord Vishnu says, oh no, it's not so easy to see this form. When Lord Shiva wanted, then there is whole description what happens, but the point there is when Lord Shiva drop of semen disposed, and this is so hot to handle when it is coming down, it comes to Agni, and then it is accepted by Kritika Devi, and in this way Kumara Swami is born, We know this, um, and that's why Kumara Swami is called Kartikeya. It's coming from Kritika, son of Kritika Devi. So similarly here now the Yajna Phala that Kritadhyuti got, and she became a pregnant. And after receiving semen from Maharaj Chitraketu, the king Shurasena queen Kritadhyuti gradually developed in her pregnancy, and just like moon develops during the bright fortnight. Now, interesting thing happens. And then, atah kala upavritte kumara samajayata janayan surasena nam shrinvatam paramam mudam. Mudam is very delighted because out of great delight of the whole citizens, all the people of Shurasena kingdom, they were very nice talking about hearing this news. All were very happy. And then 33 is important. Uh, हृष्टो राजा कुमारस्य स्नातः शुचिर अलंकृत वाचयित्वा शिशो विप्रै कारयाम आस जातकम. Now, King Chitraketu was especially pleased after purifying him by bathing and by decorating him with ornaments, and then he engaged learned brahmanas in offering benedictions to the child and performing the birth ceremony. So, um, this is the value, this is the importance of sanskaras. It is not just okay, let's become uh, modern, or let's become relevant to the world where we are, and let's not do the sanskaras, but oh, I want to celebrate the first birthday in such a way that the child remembers forever. I don't think the child will care, except the piece of cake. um, the child, it's the parents want to make it, yeah, because otherwise sometimes I even hear that sometimes parents are in some peer pressure, that oh, if my child questions me, hey, why why my birthday is not celebrated, it's all, yeah. And then what if my friends, families, they say, hey, what is this that you're not celebrating the first birthday of the child? Huh? Then they hire a event manager, and the event manager asks for something very high. And after first birthday, and then what happens? Everything is gone. So those memories are something that, yeah, I mean, Harsha Shoka. Yeah, we may see that a child is not only the cause of happiness, the jubilation, but also of lamentation, because you have these memories. Oh, my child, when he was a boy, he was always so nice, so sweet, so lovable, so obedient, so that, so this, so many. Now you see what happened after he became busy. He has his friends, he has habits, he has uh, his own youth and circle, association, all these things which you don't like. These all keep causing lamentation. Oh, see how nice was that time. Yeah, so Chitraketu, he was excited. He did all these things, and the party of childbirth should, uh, we should learn how Chitraketu has done, celebrating his son's birthday. Tebyo hiranyam rajatam vasamsi abharanani cha gramam hayan gajan pradan denunam arbudani shat. uh, six 6 million cows he has donated. Mm. We can understand the party of childbirth should include charity to brahmanas. It's not there in the purport. Yeah, there is no purport for this, but it's very important. We may think, what is the significance of brahmanas? Of course, we are not talking about brahmanas who are for namesake, or we are not talking about brahmanas who are expert in Vedas but not understand what is the purpose of Vedas. We are talking about really qualified brahmanas who are Vaishnavas. We may not see that they are wearing, or we may see that they are not wearing what is this sacred thread. Yeah, we may not know what is their Brahma Tejas. Yeah, we can't see because our eyes are not capable. But one who is absorbed, who is dedicated to praying and worshipping the Lord, Vaishnava, he is. Uh, He's having all the good qualities that a Brahmana is supposed to have. Uh, they are this titiksha, they have this abhaya, they have this quality of sat, sattva, samshuddhir, sattva qualities. All these things are there in a Brahmana, sorry, in a devotee, and beyond or above, more than a Brahmana. So one should understand the importance of, yeah, inviting sadhus at home. Make our home temple. This is the process. It is not like, okay, will they come? Yeah, we can see how Shukadeva Goswami went home to home. Of course, not for him, but for them. So we should also encourage that the sadhus come home, that we can attend to them, we can serve them, and then, yeah, then we have opportunity to take the Uchishta, yeah, or we can even association, or all these things come when we are doing regularly home programs. Mm. Uh, Through the means of home programs, what is happening? Our home is blessed. When our home is blessed, all our activities, what we do, are Krishna conscious, favorable. Then we get detached. It's not like, okay, yeah, yeah, we are not aware of this culture of inviting. No, we are aware of only culture of visiting the holy places or temples or programs. No, yeah, the culture very much in grihastha ashram is about conducting this, and that's the reason there are so many sanskaras in grihastha life. uh, in grihastha ashram there are so many sanskaras. Why? Because these sanskaras are the means through which one can um, um, purify one's life of grihastha. Why? Because we are fighting against fire. What is this fire? This fire is grihastha life. Yeah, this attachment, this conditioning, attraction to the opposite sex. So many things are there. How to sterilize ourselves, how to purify ourselves is through sanskaras, and the sanskaras we can see all enjoins to say the charity aspect. Grihasthas engage in charity. Unfortunately, today, when we do any sanskara, it is that the priests are not given so high importance. Though he is the one, without him, there is nothing. It is just like a dumb and deaf. If they meet, what is the purpose? A dumb cannot hear anything. A deaf, no, sorry, a dumb cannot speak anything, no use, and a deaf cannot hear anything. Uh, so no value. It is this sound vibration that is very important, and this sound vibration is not about what what dress material one is wearing, what ornaments one is having, but it is the main thing is that the Vedas, the Lord, who is the Veda personified, is present through the priest. So it's very important that the priest is properly honored, properly respected, properly attended. Hmm? And of course, it's not only that day business. Yeah. Oh, no, why? Because he is a Vaishnava who is also not just for that day, he is helping out to bring the consciousness, but um, for being. That's why they're called purohitas. Yeah, I mean Damodar Priya Mataji, when we were doing sanskaras. Yeah, after that I was asking some question, and then she was mentioning, yeah, now you have become a purohit, means that, yeah, just like a family priest, a priest who is taking care of families, means taking care of the welfare of the families. Okay, coming back here, we can see that Chitraketu has given charity, gold, he has given elephants, he has given silver coins, he has given horses, he has, yeah, villages, horses, elephants, and so many, 600 million cows. Hmm. Then ववर्ष कामान् अन्येषां पर्जन्य इव देहिनां धन्यम् असस्यं यशस्यम् आयुष्यं कुमारस्य महामनः. As a cloud indiscriminately pours water on the earth, the beneficent King Chitraketu, to increase the reputation, opulence, and longevity of his son, distributed like rainfall all desired things to everyone. Now comes the example. Hmm? कृच्छ्र लब्धेत राजर्षेस्तनये नुदिनं पितुः यथा निःश्वस्य कृच्छ्राप्ते धने स्नेहो अन्ववर्धत. When a poor man gets some money after great difficulty, his affection for money increases daily. Similarly, when Chitraketu, after great difficulty, received a son, his affection for son increased day by day. This analogy is very, we can appreciate, we can understand this, because a poor man, if he gets some money after difficulty, because he's really longing for money. After great difficulty, his affection for money increases because he really wanted. What does that mean in this analogy is, sometimes when we are so much looking for something, with great difficulty we get it. Yeah, in the end, what one may get is nothing. Yeah, for a sadhu, he thinks, hey, yeah, just like if someone is trying for what do you call, a constable job, constable, or a very what do you call this, grade 3, grade 4, I don't know, the lower grade jobs, or scientist D, let's put that way. With great difficulty, he's working hard, and finally, after he failed 10 times, finally he makes it. Wow, now he is, come on, the lowest among the scientists. I'm just talking about in ISRO terms. For him, he's thinking, wow, finally I got it. But is that the supreme? He should actually struggle. If at all, whatever he's doing, he should qualify for a higher thing. But he will be more satisfied. He will give more value for that role, that because he achieved, than actually the value of that is. Hmm. So here Chitraketu received a son after difficulty, and he thinks, wow, so great. And then Matustva Atitaram Putre Sneho Moho Samudbhavaha Kritadhyute Sapatninam Praja Kama Jwaro Bhavet. Oh, Bhavat. So now this is the reality of the world, is the mother's attraction and attention to the son, like that of child's father, excessively increased, because and then they feel, wow, hmm, I think it is only we are blessed, no one else is blessed, and see now how much are we blessed. And when one is feeling so great about oneself, sorry, sneha moha, there are two words given here. uh, the other wives, seeing Kritaditi's son, were very much agitated as if by high fever, with a desire to have sons. This is, I'm just looking, where is the word? Samudbhava, produced of what? Moha. Out of ignorance now, they had so much envy. Chitra Ketor Atipritir Yatha Dare Prajavati Na Tathan Yeshu Sanjagne Balam Lala Yato Nvaham. So now the king, he become a kind of insensitive to the feelings of his wives. Only he was thinking Kritadyati, hey, you made my life successful. His affection increased more and more for Queen Kritadyati. But what happened to other wives? He had millions of wives, it said. But gradually he lost affection for the other wives who had no sons. This two things. One is envious that I am not having. The second thing is not getting attention. Both. First of all, they have no more. They don't have child. And the second thing is, king was not interested in them anymore. Because of this, these both caused immense, extreme unhappiness. Prajavati, and then he became extremely disturbed, anger. And then what happened is, tah paryataptam atmanam garhayantyo bhyasuyaya anupatyena dukkhena ragnas chanadharena cha. So the queens were extremely unhappy due to their being sonless. Because of king's negligence toward them, they condemned themselves in envy and lamentation. If we can see here, this is the influence of mode of passion and mode of ignorance. Here we are saying moha, ignorance, yeah, that is dominating, and kamesha, krodesha, rajoguna, samudbhava. Kama and Krodha. First of all, they had a desire of having sons that was not fulfilled. That also is causing anger. Kama and Krodha. And both are because of mode of passion. And then it goes further. Digaprajam striyam papam patyuschagra sammatam suprajabhi sapatnibhir dashim iva tiraskritam. Dishonored, tiraskritam. A wife who has no sons is neglected at home by a husband and dishonored by her co-wives exactly like a maid servant. Certainly, such a woman is condemned in every respect because of her sinful life. So, such a wife is dishonored by co-wives. So, women who has no child, they always are considered, hey, because to have a progeny is a sign of fortune of the hmm, of a person. It is said because unless one has so much punya, it is said the scriptures are saying that one is not able to beget a child. But of course, we should also understand, yes, but we shouldn't. Here it is said, when the co-wives were feeling, oh, I don't have a child, I don't have a child, the co-wives, instead of feeling envy, if they would have approached the Lord by, for example, in the case of Atiti, she has done Payo Vrata, uh, Payo Vrata Yajna, she performed according to what Kashyapa Muni said, and she was blessed by the Lord Himself as her son. Hmm. And of course, the Lord bestows, first of all, one need to purify. This is what happened in the case of Atiti. Atiti was feeling so much sober and morose because her sons were kicked out by her co-sister's sons. Yeah, and she could see the co-sister is happy, her sons are happy. What about me? So all these feelings are there. She was guided by her husband properly to engage in the worship of the Lord. When one is seriously, sincerely engaging in the service of the Lord, let the Lord decide what He want to give, what is the fruit. If it is still worthy, because Lord is merciful, if He Lord still gives, bestows a son or a daughter, or progeny, that's all fine. Otherwise, also it's fine because anyway we are accepting the Lord as our child and we are engaging in the service to the Lord, accepting Him as all and all. So, dasinam kono santapaha. This is what happened. Swamina paricharyaya abhikshanam abhikshnam labdha mananam dasya dasiva durbhaga. This durbhaga is unfortunate. Every maid servant, sorry, even maid servants who are constantly engaged in rendering service to husband are honored by the husband, and thus they have nothing for which to lament. Our position, however, is that we are maid servants of the maid servants, therefore, we are most unfortunate. So, which means a wife who is not honored or respected by a husband feels like as low as servant of a maid servant. What does this mean is, even here the example given is the maid servant feels they are very fortunate if her husband is constant, uh, who are constantly engaged in rendering service to her. If if the wife is, this is very important. Vibhav, one second, one second. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
It is said, what is the good fortune for a wife is for a wife is even maid servants who are constantly engaged in rendering service to husband are honored by the husband. Means respecting the wife is depending on how she is obedient and engaged in the service of her husband, and such a husband is um, uh, is honored honored by her husband. That is such a great fortunate position than one who is not honored. Our position is like that, that's why they are lamenting. And then this negligence of husband, and this is, yeah, we can see, first of all, they are not having what they need, the no honor, no respect, and no, neither from the society nor from the husband. And now comes evam sandahyamananam sapatnya putra sampada ragno sammata vrittinam vidvesho palavan abhut. Yeah, now comes. Now Shukdev Goswami is continued. Being neglected by their husband, negligence, and seeing Kritadyuti's opulence in possessing a son, Kritadyuti's co-wives always burned in envy, which became extremely strong. So, not this is very dangerous. This envy, when we have, na, we will uh, we will forget who we are. We forget what is our qualification. We forget what is our eligibility, or what kind of grace or mercy are we eligible. But rather than we start looking high, and then in this process, what is happening in this case of this co-wife, they will, oh, come on, forget about us, king. Okay, maybe he has ignored us, that's okay, neglected us, that's fine. But see, day by day, his attention to Kritadyuti is increasing, and she is becoming very, very opulent, just like because she has a son. And now they think the root cause of our problem is what? Son. Vidvesha nashta matayo. This is what happened. Vidvesha, because of this envy, they have lost their mind. Striyo daruna chetasaha garam dadu kumaraya durmarsha nupatim prati. And then, as their envy increased, they lost their intelligence. Striyo daruna chetasaham. So, when we come across in Bhagavad Gita, the shlokas which are telling the eightfold fall down. Kamesha, I mean, sorry, what is that? Buddhi Nasha, yeah, what is that? There is this two shlokas that are giving the eight fall. How many, I mean, how one falls down. Pranashyati, Buddhi Nasha, Pranashyati. Finally one loses his intelligence. Kama, mm. Yeah, I can refer
प्रभुजी
it.
क्रोधोद्भवति सम्मोहात्
Mm.
स्मृतिविभ्रमः
Yeah, yeah. Kama, Kama.
स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो
Buddhinasha Pranashyati. Yeah, this eight-step fall down, we can see here how what's happening is this envy is making one to lose intelligence, yeah, and becoming hard-hearted. Striyo daruna chetasaha. They are ready, being very hard-hearted. They are ready to hurt, and they decided now. Garam means poison. It's not garam chai. We are talking about not garam chai. It's that garam means poison, and that's what they wanted to give Daduh Kumaraya, and they wanted to give this poison. Why? Because their mind is poisoned. Because the co-wife's mind is poisoned with all these feelings, so they gave him real poison to the son of Kritadyuti. They finally administered poison to the son. Till where did we read? 43, right?
I think yes, 43.
Okay, then we stop here. We stop here. Thank you. So, any thoughts, any comments or questions? By the way, first Gaurav Prabhu, how was it?
Yes, it was also like new for me too because I don't know the previous verses, so this
Mhm.
was just yeah, a little bit. I
Yeah.
don't know the names of the people,
Hmm.
but it's confusing to listen sometimes that these people are also like normal people.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like that because it's all always told by us that the previous
Mm.
and the previous ages or yogas, the people were more smart, but they
Mhm.
look to me like I don't know, also like they're also getting attracted to wives or sons, or this it feels like, yeah, okay, this is feels very normal. So
Yeah,
I'm confused that.
yeah. To have such feeling is natural. Why? Because such a world exists, but that world is not in this material world. Because the time what we are talking is, yeah, we are talking about Satya Yuga. Yeah, come on, Satya Yuga. Should these kind of problems should be there? Yeah, the age is still having its, yeah, because this is in the material world, which is in the influence of mode of passion, goodness, and ignorance. This nature, the world where you are living, just like which part of India you come from?
From New Delhi.
New Delhi. In New Delhi, there is Chopar.
Yes, there would be. Yes.
Yeah, and there is also posh gated community in Delhi.
Yes.
Don't they have trouble in gated community?
Yes, they have.
Yeah, yeah. Why? Because in the end, there is Delhi, right? I mean,
Yes.
every part of India is there. I'm just giving. So it's when we see from that point of view, time and age, we can see the influences are to an extent in quantity different, but quality is still there. And a person who is very passionate, yeah, are also within. For example, Joe Patpati. Again, we can see some people are really struggling to become um, clean, yeah, not engage in corruption or all these kind of things. No, 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 let's be good, yeah, isn't it? Within that same slum area, there are people who are good, who understand what is the value of life. Similarly, in the material world, when we are suffering, yeah, there are devotees, yeah, who are appreciating the need. What is the purpose? Not to become more and more fall down, because who can help us? We are already downgraded. Sorry, degraded, not downgraded, isn't it?
Yes.
So in Satya Yuga, it doesn't mean that there is no feelings like that. Yeah. But because one has more exposure to wisdom, they have more exposure to the mercy, they are exposed to following more dharmic. That's why they are guarding themselves better. Now, if one is talking about dharma in the form of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, it is not that there is no exposure to these things, but people are not interested because of what? The age. Yeah, age is one influence. Kali Yuga, the ruler of Kali Yuga is Kali Purush, and he has his influences. So it doesn't mean these qualities are not there in other yugas. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Now we are talking in maybe Chitraketu life. Maybe in Kali Yuga there are millions of Chitraketus. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and we are talking of millions of Chitraketu wives. Now you can imagine in Kali Yuga how many millions and millions and millions of wives would be like that.
Yeah, right.
So we can see that is the difference.
Hmm.
And what your expectations are that, oh, shouldn't that time be nice? Yeah, when we go into the spiritual world, the time is pure. Right? There is no influence of time. Rather, time facilitates the leelas of the Lord in the spiritual world, which means time is helping. Whereas here we know what time does, right? In the form of time, what Krishna is saying that I am one who is the destroyer of everything. The influence of time factor here in whichever yuga is different for a purpose. Yeah, you're working in some company or you're studying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working in the university
Yeah.
because I do my PhD. So
So in your PhD, is there a deadline?
not hard deadline, but yeah, some years to say.
Yeah, but after some years,
Yes, I think they would like to.
becomes more hard, right?
Yes.
After 3 years, 4 years, no one is waiting for your PhD, thinking, hey, Gaurav is such a great person. He's doing PhD for 15 years.
Yeah.
No one appreciates that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there is a time. So time is which is winding up things for us here, whereas time in spiritual world is facilitating the leelas so that it's not monotonous.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always sunny all the time, or it's always dark. Only the moon is. No, the spiritual world is described that it is undergoing. What is that word? There is the description. Ashtakaliya Leela, eight time changes that have been described in the spiritual world, according which the Lord does his different pastimes. In the morning, how it will be, when the day is divided into eight parts, what are the Leelas of the Lord in eight times? These during eight times are described. It is not that, oh, now Krishna is waking up because it is a sunrise. No, Krishna wakes up, it's a sunrise. You see the difference?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the question.
Mm.
Or
Hare Krishna.
curiosity. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other thoughts or questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, are you able to hear?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the Kartikeya is son of Lord Shiva and Parvati, or
No, not Shiva and Parvati. Actually, this is what surprised. I mean, in who has written this? Kumara Sambhava is written by Kalidas, if I'm not wrong. In that he describes the whole how it happens, how the semen comes through the water because it's so hot and burning, and all these descriptions. And Parvati doesn't know all these things happen. Yeah. And it was, I mean, I maybe at that time it was like 20 years back, 30 years back, I read that, or even before. Yeah, this was in the school days, and afterwards I read. At that time, my understanding was at that time Parvati was not so happy because she has no son, and that is the time where she was, this Ganesh Leela was happening, right? Before that, it was that Lord Shiva was not there, right? Yeah, so Lord Shiva comes by the time, then this Ganapati is coming because she creates a form. So we can see during this time this Kumara Sambhava happened. That's what I remember vaguely. Hmm.
mm-hmm. Yes, I read, Prabhuji, that this Kritika, there are some 6 Kritikas,
Yes. Hmm.
and here is only one mentioned. But yeah, because I knew only, I never heard about Kritika. I only heard about Lord Shiva and Lord
Hmm.
and Parvati's son is Kartikeya, but
Yeah.
Kritika I never heard. But the name itself is coming from Kritika, I think. And
Yeah, yeah. Kumara Sambhava is Kalidas who has written. Yeah, we were fortunate somehow. Yeah, in the times where history was all about Akbar, Babur, Bir, no, Akbar, Babur, then Humayun, Aurangzeb. These were that's what said in our own third language. Yeah, in Telugu, in our language, we had this chance to see this Kumara Sambhava. Yeah.
Mhm. And Prabhuji, this Kalidas is was devotee, or his literatures uh, were
Authentic.
authentic?
Yeah. Yeah. He is a poet in whose kingdom? Um, Kalidas. He's one of the first. He said like a Shakespeare of the East, no? If I'm not wrong. Um, um, this is coming under Sriranga Rasa. So the Lord's pastimes. I have to see at that time because he also has written one which is called Meghaduta, which was his own um, mm, imagination. And then he also wrote very, very nice Abhignana Sakuntalam. You know this when is it Dinesh? the king and Shakuntala. Yeah. Dushyant, not Dinesh. Come on. Dushyant and Shakuntala, and they beget a son, Bharat. Yeah. So he also wrote that. In fact, that all these are very famous. I do not know in which lineage or parampara, the sampradaya he is.
But Prabhuji, he was blessed with Kali Mata, or
Yeah.
because I heard earlier he was full and then he got blessings, or he
Okay.
was cutting the branch of the tree on which he was sitting or
Yeah,
something like.
I know that, and yeah, I was just quickly referring while we are talking that yeah, he was in the courtyard of Vikramaditya. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mm.
And Prabhuji, second thing was this all these uh, donations or this philanthropy he did on the occasion of the birth of
Mhm.
the. Does can one say that it went in vain, or because it did not give him the happiness, or it will not give Chitraketu Maharaj the
See,
happiness?
it is not about we are interested in everlasting results. Yeah, in that way, there is nothing except devotional service that can give everlasting benefit. But it doesn't mean that you don't perform sanskaras which can give you. Uh, one thing is that the king, we can see Chitraketu, what happened to him is Vritrasura. What happened to Vritrasura? Hmm?
Yes.
This is what we are discussing, right? So it's not that whatever he has done has gone into vain. Yeah. So as part of there are two dimensions of results. One that we can take forward to the next lives, and of course, charity and serving brahmanas, eating their remnants. All these things take us to the higher, not only within this world or in the cycle, but it creates the eligibility that we can attain our ultimate abode destination. Mm. Not having a son for lifelong is not the purpose of the results of this charity. It is a duty because as sanskaras, na, one has to perform, he has to do this, that's why he is doing it.
He was in the religious duty.
You can't hear you?
So he was following religious duties.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Then I think, we'll see us some of you in the noise program today. And for others, let's meet tomorrow. Thank you very much and see you tomorrow. Vanchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Grandharaj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.